Right. Let's focus on security now. Security was on the front burner this week as the House of Representatives raised concerns over the security of Nigeria's borders, stating that 1,894 of the country's 1,978 entry points remain unmanned, leaving them vulnerable to illegal activities. The lawmakers noted that the nation is facing growing threats from illegal arms smuggling, human trafficking, and drug trafficking. Chairman of the Ad hoc Committee on Border Security, Issa Anka, raised the concerns at the inauguration of the committee, quoting a recent report from ResearchGate. Anka noted that only 84 entry points across Nigeria are officially manned by security operatives, a figure he described as disturbingly low, given the country's vast 36,450 kilometers of land and sea borders. Of course, Jesufemi. Joel, quickly, before I get to Jesufemi, who is very close here to me. Joel, on hearing that there are 1,894 unmanned borders across the country, bearing in mind we are a sovereign nation, also taking into account we were once under a military regime before the switch to democracy, what was running through your mind?
To be honest, when I saw that, it was really scary. And
Wow.
To think that Nigeria, with over 900,000 square meters, we have only 84 borders manned by security personnel, by immigration and the rest of them. And, you know, it tells you the influx of people that do not have any business being in Nigeria. And that's why, yes, there's been this cry about so many ungoverned spaces. And how do you have people in this area? It's because the borders are so porous. Imagine out of 1,900 borders, only 84 is manned by security. That you can tell you that even the population that we're even talking about the Nigeria and all of that, it simply tells you that so many persons who are not even Nigerians who are here. Let me tell you, some years ago, I happened to meet someone who was applying to enter the Nigerian army through the regular recruitment at the depot. This person is from Cameroon. We have so many of these people who are, and this is very, very dangerous to Nigeria. And to think that so far over the years, Nigeria, we've expended over 9 trillion in fighting insecurity, when all what we will have done is just simply man these borders, man the borders to prevent people, aliens, from coming into the country to perpetrate all manner of evil and then put Nigeria into what it is today. And we know this issue about Boko Haram, the bandits and the rest of them. You know, there have been cries or statements about the fact that some of these persons are foreigners. How did they get into this country? And to think that any person that enters simply will just get the NIN and the rest of them like that. So these things, they are really, really very, very worrisome. And to think that now that the debate about insecurity, the America intervention and all of them, that is, what we are seeing now, and this has now made the government to just wake up to its responsibility as explained in the Constitution to protect, the citizens. I think right now, it's really, 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 really worrisome. So when I heard that, so imagine only 84, it tells you that the Nigerian government really need to wake up. We need to just go beyond this issue of always sitting down with the service chiefs and discuss. Everybody goes this way, and the next day you hear hundreds of people have been killed here, hundreds of people have been maimed there, and then at the end of the day you say unknown gunmen. So that means some of these unknown gunmen that they talk about, they're simply people who have found their way into Nigeria because we have so many porous borders.
All right, thank you very much. Jesufemi, now, should this revelation be seen as a failure of past administrations or a systemic problem?
Okay, so I don't know which area to go with it to, but what I'll say categorically is Nigeria is actually a developing country. That's first off. And the second thing is that our leaders need to get to work.
Okay.
For example, I've said it on this platform before, that it's not only tax that needs to be reformed. All parastatals, from health to security, need a solid framework.
But then this solid framework is going to take time. But when you begin to take these steps, people are already complaining. I mean, look at the few reforms that have happened and look at the complaints that came with it.
What I want to say is definitely when you do any form of reform, there's going to be some sort of complaint. But I want to give it to the House of Rep, but for taking up a committee to even start looking into this and start working on it.
Okay.
You know, it's easy for you to just walk into Nigeria, and to do whatever you like. And another thing is this: you need human resources to do these things. We're talking about the borders. What about us? Do you think the number of police and the military is enough for our populace? They are not enough.
This is off the cuff now. Yeah. If we had operated a regional system of government, yes, do you think there will be this much borders not manned?
Yes, I think if we had operated regional system of government, I think these problems will have, maybe not even existed at all.
Okay.
But
so meaning all regions will have taken care of their territories, right?
Some powerful people does not want the regional system to work because some regions are enjoined from other regions. They are
but then we can do cross-border region and business. We can strike bilateral relationships.
This still comes back to the reform I talked about. And Nigeria is a developing country. These things, we can compare ourselves with America and all that have lived over 300 years.
Okay.
The horse were just about how many years away. So these things are going to take time, but we need the government's will and drive to look into these things and make sure that those systematic issues and errors are fixed and there is a framework is built on it.
All right, Joel, quickly, outdated surveillance equipment, personnel shortages, and difficult terrains, including forests, rivers, deserts, and mountains, were cited as major challenges to border control. Now, procuring arms for the military and securing our borders, which would have yielded more results. Because you mentioned it earlier on, but emphasizing on it now, do you think focusing more on manning the borders will have been a very smart way to checkmate the security now?
Absolutely. And then, you see, you can talk about resources and all of it. If the political will to battle insecurity or to man the borders is not there, just to let you know that even if they bring all the equipments in this world, it will still fail. Don't forget that the late Buhari's administration, at the twilight of the administration, over $2 million was taken from the excess recruit account to procure weapons. Where are these weapons? And there's been a shortfall of recruitment of enough manpower that can be deployed to man these borders. As big as Nigeria is, we do not even have up to 500,000 policemen. And close to a part of that is already attached to VIPs. So who will now man the borders?
All right.
How many, the personnel of the immigration, how many do we have? Customs, the police, the army, how many do we even have? I think this is a need to do some sort of recruitment. We have teeming youths who will be willing, more than happy to, apply and be recruited. Of course, we really need to man this border if we are genuinely
serious.
Serious.
All right, thank you.
Ending this insecurity in Nigeria.
Thank you, Joel, for your time on the show. Really appreciate your coming here today. Thank you so much. Now, Joseph, you heard him.
Yes.
Shortage of personnel. You are built. You look built, man. We need